because we stick to our core convictions. At Vide Federal Savings Bank, our core convictions are not just words in it that no one reads. For us, it's the way our business.
It's time for Toombs County High School Bulldog Baseball on Y101. Get set for all the play-by-play action with the voice of the Toombs County High School Bulldog, Bryce Brady. Today's game is brought to you by Shoney's in Vidalia, Rivers Heating and Air in Vidalia, All Care Pharmacy in Lyons, Patriot Gas in Vidalia, Southeastern Technical College in Vidalia, Toombs Auto Parts in Lyons, Stevens Truck Center in Lyons, K&K Septic in Vidalia, Thriftway, your Galaxy Food Store in Lyons, Community Hospice in Vidalia, Zaxby's in Vidalia, Doodlebugs in Vidalia, First Franklin Financial in Vidalia, Carland and Timber in Lyons, Enterprises in Vidalia, and People's Bank in Vidalia and Lyons. Now we take you live to the field with Bryce Brady on Y101.
And welcome to the Toombs County High School Athletic Complex beside the high school for a non-region matchup between the Toombs County Bulldogs and the Portal Panthers. The last time this team met last year was on the road in Portal, and we were there for that. And the Bulldogs took that game 13-4, if I remember correctly. Chase Musselman is on the mound for the Bulldogs tonight, and he'll be pitching to his catcher, Jason Dukes, who is behind the plate. Bryson Stanley is at third. Cody Cortez is at short. Alex Gordy is at second, and Gray Stevens is over at first. Going around the outfield, Foster Jones is in left. Chandler Lynn is in center, and sophomore Will Watts is out in right. Reed Thompson will be leading off for the Portal Panthers this evening, wearing number 15 and playing short tonight. He'll be followed by pitcher Cole Schumann, and then he'll be followed by catcher Walker Bowen, and then center fielder Brady Mallard will be the cleanup hitter for the Panthers. Cody Jernigan will be playing first. Ivan Jernigan will be playing right. Lane Miller will be in left. Austin Coleman is the DH, batting for third baseman Macon Sykes. And then to bring up the end will be Austin Smith, the second baseman for Portal. The lineup for your Bulldogs hasn't really changed a lot, especially with the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for Toombs County. Actually, change that to 2, 3, 4, and 5 hitters. Chandler Lynn will be leading off, followed by Will Watts, Gray Stevens, Bryson Stanley, Jason Dukes, Alex Gordy, Chase Musselman, Foster Jones, and Cody Cortez. Now, Chase Musselman pitched in Friday night's game versus the Calvary Day Cavaliers. He pitched 3 2/3 inning, allowing 4 hits, 6 runs, 3 of which were earned, 1 walk, and 3 Ks. And it looks like we're ready to begin this non-region matchup here in Lyons. Coming up to bat is Reed Thompson, the shortstop. Wearing number 15, Musselman, pitching tonight. The Bulldogs are in their navy tops, white bottoms, with a primarily navy hat on. It looks like the bill may be red. And here's the first pitch. And it'll be in for a strike to make it 0-1. And your game time, start time is at 5:43, which I like to keep track of, just to see how long these games take. Next pitch. Missing inside and low for ball 1. The Bulldogs right now are 1-1 on the season with their season opener to Dublin, winning that one 16-0, and then losing to Calvary Day on Friday 6-0. Here's the 1-1. Hits this onto the ground to Cody Cortez. He fields it, has time, fires to first, and that'll be out number 1. 1 down. That'll bring up the Panther pitcher Cole Schumann. Yeah, in that Friday game, the Bulldogs got the opportunity to travel over to historic Grayson Stadium, where I was in the press box. Now, for some reason, as I was talking everything about the field on Friday night, I forgot to mention the craziest thing about being there, at least for me. Here's the pitch to Schumann. He's going to line this one over the head of Bryson Stanley into left field for a base hit. With 1 down, that'll bring up catcher Walker Bowen. Now, anyway, what I was saying is to get to the press box, I had to walk all the way up the stands to the very top, where I then proceeded to walk across a catwalk type thing. Now, I'm not tall at all, but I had to duck myself to get up to the press box. Musselman going to pick over to first, not in time. Schumann back safely. But anyway, I thought that was really neat, maybe is that the word I'm looking for? It was interesting for sure. But I enjoyed my visit there at Grayson Stadium. Next pitch, or the first pitch to Walker Bowen, is missing for ball one. However, I do wish the Bulldogs could have pulled out that game. Unfortunately, losing 6-0. Some defensive errors early, gave up a lot of runs. And then the Bulldogs just really couldn't seem to find the pitching that the Cavaliers were providing. Next pitch missing to make it 2 balls, no strikes. Cavaliers pitched 4 different pitchers, but it seemed that first guy really had the Bulldogs' number. The Bulldogs only had 2 hits in the entire game. Sophomore Dawson Brantley and senior Chandler Lynn. This ball pitched inside, which he's going to hit on the ground to Cody Cortez. Fields it, gets the out at second, throw to first, and that's a Bulldog double play to end the inning. We go into the bottom of the first. Bulldogs up to bat. Chandler Lynn, Will Watts, and Grace Stevens are coming up on Y101.
For over 35 years, Thriftway, your Galaxy food store, has been serving the community and is your family-owned and operated hometown grocery store. Michael Grimes and his staff strive to support their community and give customers service second to none. Also, make Thriftway's meat department your first stop when you're looking for fresh, USDA certified meat. Their professional meat cutters are always happy to get you the perfect cut of meat. Come in and save throughout the store every day at Thriftway, your Galaxy food store in Lyons.
Community Hospital in Vidalia has been serving families in our community for over 20 years. With their years of service and expertise, they are who you need to call when a family member is facing life's toughest challenges. CEO Jason Colbert will ensure that your family member is treated with the utmost decency and respect. You can call them today at 912-537-0063, or you can go by the facilities at 904 Mount Vernon Road in Vidalia. Jason Colbert and the gang at Community would like to send their best wishes to Bulldogs senior number 22, Grace Stevens, and wish him the best of luck in his senior season.
Now back to the field for more Toombs County High School baseball on Y101.
And welcome back to the brand new facilities here at Toombs County High School. As the Bulldogs just came out of the top of the first inning, Chase Musselman had a ground out to Cody Cortez. He then gave up a base hit. And then the Bulldogs did something for the first time this season, turning a 6-4-3 double play. Walker Bowen, the catcher, hit one on the ground to Cody Cortez. Cortez fielded it, tossed it over to second, where Alex Gordy was, his second baseman. And Gordy finished the play by throwing it to Grace Stevens, who was at first. And that wrapped up the top of the first. Now up to bat for the Bulldogs is Chandler Lynn. Chandler returning back to his leadoff position, which is typically where he hits when he does. And then he'll be followed by right fielder Will Watts, and then Grace Stevens, and then Bryson Stanley. Pitching for the Portal Panthers this evening will be Cole Schumann. Pitching from the right-hand side. First guy up to bat for Toombs County will be a lefty, followed by a majority of right-handed hitters. Actually, he's the only left-handed hitter in the lineup tonight. Unless one of these batters have practiced switch hitting and they're about to try it out in tonight's game. I'm not so sure about that. The Portal Panthers coming into this game are 0-1 on the season. They recently come off a loss to Glasscock County 6-1. The Bulldogs have a lot of action this week. This is not their only game, but this is the only game they will be playing at home as far as the varsity team goes. The Bulldogs will be on the road Thursday in Appling County for a game time of 6. The weather is supposed to be nice, at least for the next 3 days. And then on Friday, we have to travel to Tattnall County. Now, I'm not saying anything about Tattnall County. It's just, it seems every time I've called a game at that field, we have had a problem. If it was something weird, or last year, I remember it started flooding. Oh, boy, did it start flooding. And I didn't get my umbrella out in time, and I got soaked. The equipment got soaked. My papers, my book. It was just, it was not a fun game for me. Chandler Lynn, batting for the left-hand side, is going to step in, wearing number 3 tonight, as he does. He's a senior this year, one of 5 seniors on this Bulldog baseball team. Schumann with the pitch. He's going to miss that one outside. So Chandler Lynn here, 1 ball, no strike. Chandler stepping back in. He wears batting gloves. You know, that's something I haven't really talked about, is the batters that do and the batters that don't, because some of them don't. Lynn's going to take this one in for a strike. Schumann, the 1-1's on the way. This is missing inside to make it 2-1. I'm looking across the field, and I can see the Toombs County Middle School baseball team over there at their facility, which they have nicely repainted the dugouts. Really like that. The 2-1 is on the way. Chandler pokes this one high up into the air and deep to right field, where it will be called a foul ball by inches. Inches. That was a nice hit by Chandler Lynn. Unfortunately, just foul. So he's going to come back and start that at bat over again with 2 balls, 2 strikes as the count. So he steps in. Schumann coming onto the mound. Schumann going to work from the windup. Here's the pitch. Schumann going for something there on the outside edge. Unfortunately, missing outside. Fortunately for Chandler Lynn. Which team am I here for? And that'll make the count 3 balls and 2 strikes. Schumann winding. And the full count pitch. Chandler chops this one foul over towards assistant coach Patrick Kraft, but first baseman Cody Jernigan comes over and fields it and gets that back in. So Chandler is battling here, and I guess the whole team is in white cleats. Do I understand it? I don't. But apparently that's the style. You know, white shoes have been really big recently, so I think wearing white bottoms, as far as shoe wear goes, is just the thing that people want to do now. Next pitch, missing outside, and Chandler Lynn doing what he does best for the Bulldog baseball team, getting on base. Last season, he led the team in walks, I believe. That was the statistic, which is what you would like a leadoff batter to do, is to be a guarantee on base every time they step up to the plate. That'll bring up Will Watts, the right fielder. Here's the pitch to Watts, and he's going to take that pitch in for a strike. Chandler, one of the only 2 Bulldogs who had a hit in Friday night's game at Calvary Day. He went 1 for 3 in that game. Schumann now working from the stretch. Chandler with his lead. Chandler is fast. Schumann delivering to the plate. Chandler's going to go, but this ball hits Will Watts, and Watts is going to get down to first. And Chandler got to second really easily. So with runners at first and second, putting 1 in scoring position, that'll bring up just the guy you need, Gray Stevens. Stevens wearing number 22. Bats from the right-hand side, playing first tonight. He wears batting gloves. Yeah, I'm not sure if you could consider his cleats white anymore, which is what happens to white cleats. Stevens taking this pitch in for strike 1, especially in clay. You know, I just don't understand the reasoning. I guess it's not for me to question, right? Schumann giving a look at Lynn, who has his lead at second, going to deliver to the plate. This is missing low and outside for ball 1. Schumann stepping back onto the mound. And by the way, that Friday game in Tatnall is a junior varsity doubleheader, with the junior varsity beginning at 4 and the varsity beginning at 6. And Gray Stevens takes this off the shoulder, it pretty much looked like. So he'll be going on down to first, and that'll load up the bases for another guy you really want to see at the plate with the bases loaded. That's Bryson Stanley. Stevens and Stanley both have the potential, anytime they're up to bat, to really do something with the ball and score runs for this Bulldog team. And with no outs, the Bulldogs are sitting in a nice position to be early on in the game. Schumann working from the stretch, delivering the first pitch to Stanley. This one's going to be low for ball 1. You know, I feel for that middle school team. They must just have a practice today, because they're running the fence of the field over there. I played all 3 years of middle school. I remember those days. Stanley's going to take this next pitch in for strike 1. Yeah, we used to run the entire field, fence, all the way around the fence. Then there was another thing we used to do under head coach Ryan Rogers, which I hated the most. A nice breaking ball there, which is going to give Bryson Stanley strike 2. Stanley behind in the count here, 1 ball, 2 strikes. What we would do is we would start at home plate, and we would run to the left field foul pole and back to home plate, then to center field and back to home plate, and then to right field and back to home plate multiple times. When everybody got done, usually you were going again. Next pitch missing for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Stanley, the right-handed hitter for Toombs County. Schumann coming on to the mound. Stanley, small movement in the bat. The 2-2 is on the way. Stanley sends this one into right center field. Will there be a catch here? Center fielder Ivan Jernigan, or right fielder Ivan Jernigan, moves over and makes the catch, but Chandler Lynn tags up from third, and that scores a run, and the Bulldogs are now on top 1-0 in the bottom of the first. So with 1 down, that'll bring up catcher Jason Dukes. Dukes wearing number 15 tonight and catching. He started Friday's game in left field, and I assume that's because Coach Derek James wants to see who all he has that could potentially be a catcher for the team, because you always need more than one in case, you never know, something may come up. Jason may have to miss a game hit, maybe. I don't know. Running up and sliding, unable to catch the ball. And Will Watts scores from second base. Or excuse me. Yeah, that is Will Watts. And Gray Stevens slid back to third as they almost had a play there. Yeah, so a nice base hit for Jason Dukes, and they're going to substitute a runner in for him. Looks like he's wearing number 18, and that's Caden Versluis, who's going to come in and run for Jason Dukes, who just put the Bulldogs on top 2-0. And now that'll bring up Alex Gordy. With 1 down, Alex Gordy's up to bat. Runners are now at second and third. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be, I think if the catcher would have framed it, it could have been in for a strike, but that'll be in for ball 1. Because from here, it looked like it came above the knee and across the plate. Schumann coming set. Here's the pitch. Missing low for ball 2. Got Gray Stevens at third, who reached on a hit by a pitch, and Caden Versluis at second, who is running for Jason Dukes, who scored a run on an RBI single. Here's the pitch. Ball missing inside, got away from catcher Bowen, no go from Stevens from third. So Gordy way ahead in the count here, 3 balls, no strikes. So with a 3-0 count, Gordy steps back in. And Schumann comes on to the mound. Coming set, and the 3-0 is on the way. Missing in the dirt, and that'll give Alex Gordy a walk to first. And load up the bases for pitcher Chase Musselman. Musselman pitching in tonight's game. Had a 3-up, 3-down inning with help from his defense on a 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. Musselman with a bit of an open stance. Schumann is coming set and delivering to the plate. And that ball almost hitting Musselman, missing inside for ball 1. Musselman stepping back in, wearing number 4 for the Bulldogs tonight. Schumann working from the stretch with the bases loaded. Bulldogs on top 2-0 here in the bottom of the first. Winding, here's the pitch. And that one's missing outside, trickling away from catcher Bowen, which he walked over, made that catch, grabbed the ball. 2 balls, no strikes on Musselman. He'll be followed by senior Foster Jones and then junior Cody Cortez. Schumann coming set. Here's the pitch. Musselman's going to take that one in for a strike. That'll make it 2 balls and 1 strike on the right-handed hitter. Schumann coming set, giving a look at Stevens at third, who has his lead. The pitch is on the way, and that'll be in for strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Chase Musselman. There's 1 down in the bottom of the first. And the bases are loaded for the Bulldogs. So let's see if they can drive in some more runs. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, and that'll be strike 3 on Musselman. 2 down. That'll bring up Foster Jones. Foster Jones has excelled in archery. He's a very good bow and arrow man. I mean, I guess an archist. I'm not sure what you would say there. He's good at archery. I know that works. Here's the pitch. Missing low for ball 1. And tonight he is playing left field for the Bulldogs. The junior varsity will be in action tomorrow night. Wednesday night versus Swainsboro. And that game will be right here at 5. Next pitch. Missing low and inside. That'll be 2 balls and no strikes. Now a walk here would drive in a run, but I'm sure that Coach James would prefer a ball, in the gap is somewhere in the outfield, which would score more than 1 run. Here's the pitch. That one missing inside. That'll make it 3 balls and no strikes. Jones way ahead here. And he'll be followed by shortstop Cody Cortez. And then we'll be back to the top of the order to Chandler Lynn, who is in the dugout right now. I see him putting on his batting gloves, getting ready to go. The 3-0 is on the way, and Foster will take this one for strike 1, which is typically what you do, right? You have a 3-0 count. The batter's probably not going to swing at the next thing that's pitched. An archer. There we go. Thanks, Robin. An archer. That's a better word. An archer. Foster Jones, the archer. The 3-1. Here we go. Jones hits this one onto the ground to the shortstop. He fields it. Going to make the play at first, but is he going to be able to? And the field umpire says that Foster Jones was thrown out at first. It was a very close call, but that is going to end the inning. Bulldogs on top 2-0 as we go into the top of the second inning here in Lions on Y101.
This is TCV Broadcasting, WLY-FM, Lions Vidalia, Y101.
You've heard the name. You've seen it many times. But do you know the real story of General So? Neither do we, but we do know it's a fantastic sauce. Try Zaxby's new General So's boneless chicken wings. The perfect blend of sweet and heat, and oh so delicious. It's legendary chicken with a legendary sauce. The new General So's boneless wings meal with crinkle fries and a 22-ounce drink. For a limited time, only at Zaxby's.
Have you heard the news? There's a new business in town, Doodlebugs. Formerly Pitch and Stitch, is owned and operated by Mona Jones. Doodlebugs is located at 111 Southeast Main Street in Vidalia. We embroider, screen print, and vinyl most items. Come see us Monday through Friday. Our hours are 9:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. We can't wait to see you at Doodlebugs.
Now back to the field for more high school baseball with the Toombs County Bulldogs on Y101.
So the Bulldogs have taken the field for the top of the second, and they will be facing Brady Mallard, Cody Jernigan, and Ivan Jernigan. Is there a relation there? I don't know. I have no idea. Sort of like me making the connection that pitcher the other night was not related to Bryson Stanley. And now it is time to begin. It looks like we're ready to go here. Up to bat will be center fielder Brady Mallard. That name sounds very familiar. Let's see in this book if I can go back and find last year's game versus Portal. Actually, I flipped right here. And excuse that game 13-0. That was the score. Musselman to start off the second inning. Going to throw in this pitch for ball 1. Mallard stepping back in. 1 ball, no strikes. Musselman working from the windup currently. Flip back to that game. The 1-0 is on the way. And that'll be in for strike 1. Nice use of the plate there. He went outside and he got the call. Yeah, the lineup last year went something like this. Cortez, Musselman, Cloud, Stanley, Watts, Dukes, Gordy, Jones, and Knight. The 1-1 for Musselman. Saw him adjusting his hand in the glove there. It looked like he was throwing an off-speed pitch. More than likely his knuckleball. It's really good. he's perfected it over his years of playing, and that'll make it 1 ball, 2 strikes. Other members of the baseball team that got to play in that game, Dawson Brantley, Kevin Hall, Lucas O'Connor, and Carson Brady. So a lot just happened here that I was paying attention to, but I was reading off the rest of that list. So it was a swing. He swung and missed, and it was a drop third strike by catcher Dukes. Dukes bobbled the ball around a little bit. He threw it high to Gray Stevens at first. Stevens held on to it and tagged the runner. 1 down. And you know what you score that? You still scored a strikeout in the book. Or at least I do. It saves time and space. Let's bring up Cody Jernigan to bat. First pitch to him is missing low for ball 1. Musselman coming set. Here's the pitch. That'll be in for strike 1. The count is 1 ball, 1 strike. On the right-handed first baseman for the Panthers, Musselman, 1-1. Ooh, a nice pitch there, and that'll be swinging and miss for strike 2. The batter, he kind of walked away like it was strike 3. I was unsure there. I thought I'd been watching the game closely. Who knows? Here's the 1-2. Swing, and Dukes tags him just to be sure of that one. And that'll be strike 3 and out number 2. It seems like Musselman's off-speed pitches are really working for him in tonight's game, which sitting at this angle, you can really see the movement of the ball as it leaves his hand and travels from the pitcher's mound to home plate. Ivan Jernigan, the right fielder, is up to bat. The first pitch to him is low for ball 1. Now, Jernigan here is a smaller guy, so that makes it a bit harder for the pitcher to hit his strike zone. The 1-0. Swing and a miss for strike 1. See, back when I played, I was always a shrimpy guy. So pitchers had a harder time hitting my strike zone, which I guess is a pro to being small and playing baseball. Jernigan's going to show bunt, but bunts it way foul and out of play over the net behind home plate, and that'll be strike 2. Guess you can't really use the word shrimp to describe me anymore. I would say I've put on some weight. Is it a good thing? Probably not. Starting this new water thing. 1-2 is on the way. A nice off-speed pitch, missing just high. That'll make it 2-2. You know, they say when you go to college the first year, you gain the freshman 15. Boy, were they not kidding. The 2-2 for Musselman. Swing and a miss. Dukes bobbling it. Jernigan running hard as he can, but that'll be out number 3. So now we move into the bottom of the second inning. Bulldogs leading 2-0 as we break on Y101.
It's baseball season, and we at First Franklin Financial are big fans of our local teams. When life strikes with sudden expenses, First Franklin has been there to help for over 80 years. We offer fixed loan rates up to $15,000 with easy payment plans and fast approvals. Visit us online at oneffc.com or give us a call at 537-3062. All loan terms and applicable APRs depend on meeting our underwriting and income criteria for the loan size requested and collateral. To residential mortgage license C5656.
Hi, this is Betsy Rollins. You know my dad, Tommy Rollins, owner of Tar Land and Timber. Growing up, he taught me to be honest, dependable, and community-oriented. And since 1977, when he started in the timber industry, that's the way he has done business. He'll give you the most dependable service and the best timber prices around. So if you owned and operate a business, call Tommy Rollins at Tar Land and Timber. 565-8850. Tell him Betsy sent you.
Now back to the field for all the hard-hitting action. It's Toombs County Bulldog Baseball right here on Y101.
And welcome back to the Toombs County Athletic Facility. The Bulldogs are leading the Portal Panthers 2-0 as we enter the bottom of the second inning. So anyway, back to my story about the freshman 15, and I say this as if I'm not still a freshman. Well, technically, I'm a sophomore because I came into Southern with some credits already done, 27 actually. So anyway, it's technically a sophomore now, but my first year in college. So the first semester, it was interesting. First semester, there's a lot of adjusting to do. And, you get there, the first thing you do is you're like, oh, my goodness, I'm surrounded by all this freedom of, no parents, no rules that I have to follow other than the rules set forth by the law that governs our society. So, it's like, all right, here we go. Let's see what this thing is all about. And so you go out and you do, and you have fun and you do whatever. And, but anyway, I did gain 15 pounds, but over the Christmas break, it dropped back down significantly to what I'm supposed to weigh. So I don't know what that was, but it was very weird. And especially for it to drop back down over Christmas break, considering you have Christmas and all the food that is associated with that holiday. Cody Cortez is up to bat for the Bulldogs, wearing number 1 tonight, as he normally does, here to start off the bottom of the second inning. First pitch to him is going to be in for strike 1. Schumann coming set for the Panthers. The 0-1 on the way. Cortez fouls this one off into the net. And that'll make it 0-2 on the right-handed hitter. Now we are streaming. Our streaming services are back up. And if you'd like to hear it when you're away from town and you can't hear the radio, or if you don't have a radio other than the one in your car, you can go to YouTube, type in Y101 Live Sports Action. And the game that is live streaming, Cortez is going to take this one off the helmet, so he's going to walk down to first. So the game that'll be live streaming, if you're not familiar with YouTube, is you just look and it'll have live in the bottom left-hand corner, I want to say. And you can listen to the stream, or if you're out of town, if you're out of our listening area, then that would also be something you could do. It's on YouTube, Y101 Live Sports Action. Chandler Lynn is up to bat for the Bulldogs. He walked his first at bat after nailing a ball down the right field foul line that was hitting just foul. Man, Chandler Lynn, as speedy as that guy is, he could have run for days on that one. But he got a walk out of it, so his on-base percentage tonight's 1,000. With a runner on base, actually, I see the game plan here. I see the strategy, putting Chandler Lynn leading off and Cortez at the bottom of, the strategy to put Lynn on as the leadoff batter is that Lynn usually is getting on base, takes that first pitch for ball 1. But Cortez is also a pretty fast guy. And as I said, Cortez, he's stealing second. This ball getting away from Walker Bowen, and Cortez is there standing, for that matter. So with a runner in scoring position for the Bulldogs, and Chandler has a 0-2 count, you're just where you want to be when the heart of your lineup's coming up. Chandler will be followed by Watt, Stevens, Stanley, and Dukes. Schumann working from the stretch, the 2-0. Lynn's going to take that one in for a strike on the outside edge. 2 balls and 1 strike. Lynn bats from the left-hand side. Cortez with a lead. Lynn getting under this one, popping it up. It looks like it's going to go foul and out of play into the bleachers of the visiting team. So now the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Chandler Lynn going to return back. Walker Bowen settling back behind home plate. Schumann coming set, and the 2-2. Swing and a miss by Chandler Lynn for strike 3. 1 down. That'll bring up right-handed sophomore Will Watts. You know, him and my brother are in the same grade. So I've watched him play baseball with my brother Carson for many, many years. And at one point, believe it or not, now take this for what it's worth, and you could imagine how long ago this was, swing and a miss by Watts. But at one point, I was taller than Will Watts. Now, Will Watts is way taller than me. The 0-1 for Schumann is on the way. Watts fouling this one back for strike 2. Watts stepping back in, runner at second. Now the Bulldogs don't want to strand runner on bases. The 0-2 from Schumann is on the way. Swing and a miss, and that will sit down Will Watts. 2 down. That'll bring up Gray Stevens. Schumann working from the stretch here. Cortez with a lead. Here's the pitch to Stevens. Stevens sends this one deep to left center field. And is that ball going to get out of here? No, it's going to hit right at the base of the fence. Cortez scoring easily. Stevens rounding second, headed to third. Here's the throw. Oh, man, he's out. Is he out? No, he's not. The umpire called him safe. Would you look at that? Man, oh, man, when I saw that ball leave the bat, I thought it was gone. But it seemed like it slowed down in the air. And Stevens sliding into third successfully and safely with an RBI double. That was a stand-up double. He turned it into more bases, extra bases. So with a runner at third and 2 down, that'll bring up Bryson Stanley. Stanley pulling the first pitch down the third base line, foul. For strike 1, Stanley in his first at bat had a sac fly, which scored Chandler Lynn from third. And we're waiting for the ball to get back in from foul territory. Schumann coming back onto the mound. Bulldogs on top 3-0 here in the bottom of the second inning. Schumann coming set. Winding the 0-1. Swing and a miss from Stanley. That'll make it 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes on the right-handed hitter. I have a funny story about Bryson Stanley coming up in a few minutes. Taking this next pitch for ball 1. I don't want to start it right now. You know, I have a bad habit of starting stories with 2 outs. So I'll wait until I get a better time to start the story. The 0-2 is on the way to Stanley. And did that hit him? Yes, it did. So Stanley is going to take his base at first. And anyway, I'll tell the story now. I was in 8th grade and Bryson was in 6th. And we were on the middle school baseball field together. I was there as an actual player. Hard to believe, but true. And we were at second base taking infield at the time. And I remember from this day that he kept saying hashtag and then a word. Like it would be a different word, but hashtag was always in front of whatever word he was saying. And at the time, first pitch to Jason Dukes, will be missing inside for ball 1. But anyway, he just kept on with the hashtag this and the hashtag that. And I think eventually I said, Bryson, why do you keep saying that? Could you not just say it without saying the hashtag? Anyway, I think the real kick behind that, next pitch fouled off into the dugout of the Portal Panthers for strike 1. But I think the real kick behind that was he could tell it was starting to get to me. But anyway, I was a good sport about the joke. Stanley with his lead at first. Here's the pitch. This is very interesting. Is it in the glove? I don't know. The catcher, he moved over to his right to field a ball that hit in the dirt, and then he couldn't find it. Apparently, it got caught in his chest protector. He looked everywhere. He took off his helmet, looked in the glove. And then he found it, so that'll be 2 balls and 1 strike on Jason Dukes with 2 down. Runners now at second and third. You got Stevens at third, Stanley at second, and Dukes at the plate. The 2-1 from Schumann, and Stanley rips this one to the third baseman. It hits his glove and ricochets around. Stevens going to score easily. Stanley is going to slide in safely at home plate, and the Bulldogs are now on top 5-0. A nice hit by Jason Dukes. Unfortunately, an error by the third baseman, but he gets 2 runs scored on that one. 2 down, and Jason Dukes is standing up at second, which I'm sure they're going to put in a runner for him, and it looks like they're already getting ready to do that, bringing up Caden Versluis to go out and run. And the coach for the Portal Panthers is coming up to talk to his team on the mound. The Bulldogs are on top right now, 5-0 in the bottom of the second inning with 2 down. Boy, that was a shot by Jason Dukes. It hit the third baseman, Macon Sykes, right in the glove so hard. I think it hit him in the palm of the hand. And it flew out into foul territory. I know that one had to hurt also. But nevertheless, a nice hit by Jason Dukes. It's always better, no matter who you are as a batter or who you are as a team, even if you do get out, it's always better to put the ball in play. And that's what the Bulldogs have been doing here tonight. Which is something they kind of struggled with on Friday night. I mean, there was an inning that all 3 batters that came up to the plate hit the ball. Unfortunately, it was in the air and it was out there to an outfielder. Let's see, which inning am I referring to? Because there was one inning in particular where they had some nice hits. It's just all right to somebody. It was the top of the third inning. Dawson Brantley reached on the team's first hit, followed by Alex Gordy flying out to the left fielder. And speaking of Alex Gordy, he's up to bat right now. First pitch to him, swing and a miss for strike 1. And then Chase Musselman flew out to the shortstop, it was in shallow left that he ran behind there and got it. Yeah. But anyway, 0-1 on Gordy, one of the 5 seniors on this team. Next pitch, missing low for ball 1. On deck, senior Chase Musselman. Schumann coming onto the mound, working from the stretch. The 1-1 is on the way. And that'll be in for strike 2 on Gordy. Caden Versluis pinch running for catcher Jason Dukes. He's out at second right now. Getting a lead. Or he was getting a lead. Now Schumann has come onto the rubber. Versluis taking his lead. And swing, a drop ball by the catcher. Gordy's going to run to first, and the first baseman's there. Steps on first, and that will be out number 3 to end the inning. But the Bulldogs scoring 3 in the bottom of the second to make it 5-0. We'll take a break and come back on Y101.
Do you have a family member who forgets to take his or her medication? At All Care Pharmacy, we organize the patient's medication by dose and time of day, and we package it to ensure patient compliance, all at no additional cost. Our Care Plus prescription service helps eliminate emergency room visits due to medication errors, giving the patient and the caregiver a level of security and comfort. If you have a loved one who could benefit from this service, call Debbie Holly at 524-0100.
McClendon Enterprises Incorporated is your local go-to contractor for turnkey civil construction services. We've been a proud supporter of local athletics since our start in 1979 and are appreciative of the values instilled in our youth by the coaches and staff of the Toombs County school system over these years. If you're interested in pursuing a challenging yet rewarding career in civil construction, please visit our website at McClendenEnterprises.com today. Now back to the field for all the hard-hitting action. It's Toombs County Bulldog Baseball right here on Y101.
Welcome back to the Toombs County Athletic Facilities on Y101 as the Toombs County Bulldogs are facing off in a non-region matchup versus the Portal Panthers. Up to bat for the Panthers is left fielder Lane Miller, who's wearing number 1 tonight, followed by DH Austin Coleman, and then followed by the second baseman Austin Smith. Chase Musselman's still on the mound for the Dogs. So far, he's faced 6 batters and 2 complete innings, having 3 up, 3 down innings in the top of the first and the top of the second. A nice throwdown by Jason Dukes as he's warming up behind the plate with his pitcher, Chase Musselman, and it looks like we're ready to go. So Musselman comes on to the mound, working from the windup right now. Logan Knight pitched in that game on the road last year when the Bulldogs went over to Portal and beat the team 13-0. The pitch from Musselman's missing inside for ball 1. Anyway, Logan Knight had 5 complete innings pitched, only allowing a hit in the entire game. He had 2 walks and 9 Panther strikeouts. The 1-0 is on the way for Musselman. That'll miss off the plate to make it 2 balls and no strikes. Miller was showing bunt but pulled back as he noticed the ball was trailing off from the strike zone. Musselman coming set. The 2-0. He's going to show bunt again. This one fouls off back into the net for strike 1. Two-one on Miller. Musselman coming set. Winding and delivers. Swing and a miss for strike 2. That'll even up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Musselman coming set, winding, and the 2-2. Swing and a miss, and that will be strike 3. 1 down. That'll bring up DH Austin Coleman, who is batting for third baseman Macon Sykes. The weather turned out to be quite nice today, or in the later part of the day. It's still kind of cloudy, overcast, but you can see parts of the sky where there are no clouds. Supposed to be beautiful weather the next 3 days, though. First pitch to Sykes is missing off the plate, or actually called for strike 1, excuse me. The 0-1 for Musselman. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Yeah, I actually didn't know over the weekend that it was going to be, or had a chance for rain today until I checked the weather yesterday. I just assumed that we were done with the rain for a bit, but we had some misty showers today. The 0-2, very nice pitch from Musselman. However, that'll be ball 1. And it cleared up. I don't think it rained too terribly much to cause any damage to the brand new field. The 1-2 is on the way. A nice breaking ball called for strike 3 on the outside edge. 2 down to bring up second baseman Austin Sykes. Austin Smith. Macon Sykes. I saw his name above it. Smith wearing number 13 tonight for the Portal Panthers. Musselman delivering the 2-out pitch to the plate. This ball's going to be popped into the air and out of play for strike 1. Smith stepping back in. He's a right-handed hitter. And, of course, if you know anything about Musselman, he's a right-handed pitcher. The 0-1 is going to be called for strike 2. Smith standing in the box. Musselman coming set with the windup. The 0-2 pitch is on the way. And he pops this one up into the air over toward Bryson Stanley. And Stanley makes the catch. And Chase Musselman has yet another 3-up, 3-down inning. We go into the bottom of the third. Bulldogs on top 5-0 here in Lyons as we break on Y101.
What's your money doing right now? Is it sitting there doing absolutely nothing? It's time to start putting it to work. Invest it. Make it grow for the future. Come see us, and together we'll develop an investment strategy tailored just for you. Together we grow. We're an equal housing lender. People's Bank, where people come first. Member FDIC. Online at ourpeoplesbank.com.
Listen up, burger lovers. Wednesday is Burger Day at Shoney's in Vidalia. That's right. From 11 until close, you can get a third-pound fresh ground beef cheeseburger with all the fixings, fries, or onion rings, and a drink, all for just $6.99. Bring the whole family out for burger night, and that's every Wednesday at Shoney's in Vidalia, located at 2505 Highway 280. Curbside pickup is also available. Call 537-0920.
Now we're going back to the field for more high school baseball with the Toombs County Bulldogs on Y101.
Welcome back to the new facilities here at Toombs County. The Bulldogs on top 5-0 over the Portal Panthers in a non-region matchup. And the Panthers have put in a new pitcher, and it looks like they have Brady Mallard up on the mound. Schumann had 2 complete innings pitch, giving up what I have 2 hits for the Bulldogs. Yes. He gave up 5 runs. Let's see, 1, 2 walks, and 1, 2, 3, 4 Bulldog strikeouts. So Brady Mallard is a right-handed hitter. Looks like he has some velocity with the way he's throwing the ball right now in his warm-ups. So that should be interesting to see. Chase Musselman, who's pitching for the Bulldogs, is up to bat. In his first at bat, he swung on a strike 3. And unfortunately, didn't make contact with the ball. So let's see if Musselman can put something in play here for the Dogs to get something started in the bottom of the third. He showed bunt to begin with and then pulled back after he saw the ball was trailing off the plate. So it'll be 1 ball and no strike on Chase Musselman. The 1-0. Musselman lays down a bunt successfully right back to the pitcher Mallard, and there's nobody covering first, and Musselman is there safely, reaching on what you would score as a base hit. So with a runner at first, that'll bring up left fielder Foster Jones, who is an archer. Yes, he is an archer or bowman. Talked to his father the other day before the game at Calvary Day at Grayson Stadium. We talked about the different colleges he was going to look at. Talked about his dorm situation at one of the ones he was most interested in. Now, when you hear the word dorm, it has such a negative connotation to it, right? Because that's like the last place people want to stay on a college campus, right? So I'm going to lay out how my dorm is. Because at Georgia Southern, first pitch to Jones, missing for ball 1, there's a policy. And the policy is that if you are a true freshman with less than 30 credit hours, you have to live at the dorms on campus. And I came in with 27. Mallard coming set, the 1-0. High for ball 2. Musselman going to scoot back to first. So anyway, I live at my dorm. Now, there are a lot of dormitories over there. You have like Centennial Place. You have Eagle Village. You have Freedom's Landing. You have Southern Pines, Southern Courtyard. There are a few over there. But the way mine is laid out is you walk in and you kind of walk into the kitchen, living room. It's kind of all in one. You got the kitchen to your left with a little bar thing. You have stools. You got a sink, a refrigerator, and a microwave. And if you want anything else that can't be microwaved, well, good luck. Then you see the living room. It's sort of like I said, all one big room. This ball getting away from catcher Bowen, and Musselman scoots down to second. And you have 4 rooms, and everybody has their own individual room with their own individual bed, but 2 people share a bathroom. There are 2 sinks, a toilet, and a shower. This ball getting way by catcher Bowen, and Musselman scooting down to third, and Jones reaching on a walk. So, I mean, is it the most wonderful place in the world to live? No, probably not. But I don't think it's that bad enough for the word dorm to have such a negative frame of mind behind it. Because, I mean, face it, when you went to college, dorm, you were like, oh boy, they're going to enjoy that. Sarcastically. Cortez was going to show bunt, but Mallard way overthrowing his catcher for ball one. And Foster Jones scoots down to second. So that puts runners on second and third. 2 runners are in scoring position for the Bulldogs. Cortez stepping back in. 1 ball, no strike on the right-handed hitter. Here's the pitch. This is getting away from the catcher. Chase Musselman is going, and Chase Musselman gets home safely. And now the Bulldogs are on top 6-0. Foster Jones getting down to third. 2 balls, no strikes on Cody Cortez. And I have a message for all high school students, especially seniors. The 2-0 going to be in for strike 1. Had some movement on that ball from Mallard. Under no circumstance in any thought is college even remotely like high school. The 2-1, that's going to be in for strike 2. They say that it's kind of the same. It's really, the work may be kind of the same. Some of the same stuff you may have touched on or done in high school. But as far as responsibility and as far as doing things yourself and taking care of yourself and being almost fully independent all by yourself, it's really not the same as being in high school. This next pitch fouled off out of play. And most freshmen, when they get into college their first year, have a culture shock, and their grades suffer, and, their mental health kind of suffers, and, things like that. But, you just have to be more well prepared for what is coming. Next pitch missing. Load up the count on Cody Cortez. I think I adapted. By September, I was settling in fine. And that's enough for me in my soapbox about college. Full count pitch. Cortez sends it up the middle. The second baseman making a nice play. But I think I'm going to have to give Cortez a base hit on that one because the second baseman made a clean catch. And he moved way over to his right, almost towards the center of the diamond. And Cortez having an RBI single. Making the Bulldogs lead 7-0 here in the bottom of the third. That'll bring us back to the top of the order. We have no outs here in the bottom of the third inning to bring up Chandler Lynn. Here's the pitch. And that'll be in for strike 1 on the outside edge for Lynn. Lynn looking for a base hit this evening. He's reached on a walk and had a strikeout. He bats from the left-hand side and quite the speedy guy on the bases. So let's see if Chandler can reach the bases. The 0-1 is on the way. Missing inside and getting away from the catcher, and Cody Cortez is down to second. Cortez is a fast guy also. And now we have a runner in scoring position for the Bulldogs. 1 ball, 1 strike on Chandler Lynn. Chandler steps in, bats from the left-hand side. The 1-1 is on the way. Missing for ball 2. On deck, sophomore Will Watts. The 2-1 to Lynn, missing high over the catcher's head, and Cortez is easily down to third. And that makes it 3 balls and 1 strike on the senior left-handed hitter, who played quarterback for the Toombs County football team this past season, wearing many hats with the team as he went over his span of 4 years with the program. The 3-1. The umpire calling that for strike 2. Lynn thought it was ball 4, and that loads up the count on Chandler Lynn. Now, Lynn was put in this situation to start off the game in the bottom of the first inning for the Bulldogs offensively, and he got a walk out of it. Let's see. Full count pitch way inside, and Lynn takes ball 4. So with runners on the corners for the Bulldogs and still no outs on the scoreboard, that'll bring up Will Watts. The catcher, Bowen, has called time. and he's going up to talk to his pitcher, Brady Mallard. And in the meantime, Will Watts is going to scoot down and talk to head coach Derek James at the third base coach's box. And Patrick Kraft is over talking to Chandler Lynn at first from his coaching position. Will Watts looking for a base hit tonight. He's reached base on a hit by a pitch and also had a strikeout in tonight's game. Mallard coming on to the mound. Chandler Lynn with his lead at first. First pitch, getting away from the catcher. Lynn's going to scoot down to second. The throw to second, and it's getting by the shortstop. And for some reason, Cody Cortez made no attempt at the plate. So now it puts runners on second and third. Ball one on Will Watts. Watts stepping back in. Mallard coming set and delivering the 1-0. Oh, man, that ball went behind Will Watts, and Cortez still not going to try a break for the plate. So to make it 2 balls and no strikes on Will Watts. Seemed like Mallard was going for a curveball there, and the release out of his hand didn't work quite the way he probably wanted it to. The 2-0. Missing outside. That'll make it 3 balls and no strikes on Will Watts. Gray Stevens is on deck. The 3-0 to Watts is going to be in for strike 1, which is typically how it goes with 3-0 count. If the pitcher knows, if the pitcher is real familiar with the game of baseball, 3 balls, no strikes, well, he's probably not going to swing at anything I throw anyway. So let me try to put one right down the pipe. The 3-1. Watts gets a hold of this one, sends it to right field, and the right fielder unable to catch it. Watts is going to round first. He's headed for second. Cortez is going to score easily. Lynn is also there, and the Bulldogs scored 2 more, pushing their lead to 9-0. And with still no outs, Bulldogs now have 9 runs. They need 6 more for the run rule here in the bottom of the third. That'll bring up Gray Stevens. Stevens on tonight's game is 1 for 1 with a hit by a pitch and an RBI double, which he turned into a triple, which was very scary, but he did it. Mallard coming set. Here's the pitch. It's going to be in for a strike. That'll make it 0-1 on Stevens. Stevens stepping back in. Mallard coming set. Watts with his lead at second. Here's the 0-1. And Stevens gets a nice lick on the ball and sends it to deep right center. Watts will have an easy time scoring. Stevens rounding first. He's going to head for second. He's headed for third, and he's going to be at third much easier this time with no play, with a standing RBI triple. And the Bulldogs now lead 10-0. The Bulldogs entered this inning with 5, and they have put 5 more up on the scoreboard. And it looks like head coach Derek James is going to start making some substitutions here. Looks like Bryson Stanley's up to bat next, followed by Jason Dukes. Gray Stevens is coming off of his third base for some reason. Why is that? Maybe he's putting something up? Yeah, there he is. He's coming back. Bulldogs are on top here in the bottom of the third, 10-0, and that'll bring up Galen Wilds, who will be batting in the place of Bryson Stanley. And they've also put in another pitcher for the Portal Panthers. As soon as I get number 15. Number 15 for the Panthers is Reed Thompson coming over from shortstop. So we're going to give him a minute to warm up. So in the meantime, we're going to take a break. Bulldogs on top 10-0 here in the bottom of the third on Y101.
Does your home have its own weather pattern? Rivers Air Conditioning and Heating can help you by servicing your current system or providing you with a new energy-efficient Lennox system featuring innovative iComfort 530 thermostats that let you monitor and adjust your home temperature anywhere with your smartphone app. Call Rivers Heating and Air Conditioning at 912-537-8490 or visit us online at riversac.net.
Patriot Gas in Vidalia is happy to serve its community, and it's been serving its community for over 15 years. With a combined experience of over 55 years and the only true locally owned gas service in town. And if you need them on the weekend, they'll be there too. From gas logs to fireplaces to stoves and propane, Patriot Gas in Vidalia is the only choice to get the job done efficiently and effectively. If you need to call them, the number is 537-1940, or you can go by and visit the location at 209 Green Street in Vidalia.
And now we take you back to the field for all the action of the Toombs County Bulldogs on Y101.
So with a lead of 10-0 in the bottom of the third, head coach Derek James is going to make some changes to the lineup. And up to bat now will be Galen Wild in the place of Bryson Stanley, followed by Carson Brady in the place of Jason Dukes. Reed Thompson is on the mound for the Panthers right now, coming over from his shortstop position, wearing number 15, pitching from the right-hand side. And Galen Wild, a freshman for Toombs County, is going to step into the batter's box. After the umpire from behind home plate brushes it off. Wild stepping in. Gray Stevens is at third, coming off of an RBI triple. Oh, man. We've had some very nice hits in this game. Very nice hits from Gray Stevens. Here's the pitch. Low and getting away from the catcher Walker Bowen, and Stevens is standing and scores. Bulldogs now on top 11-0. That'll be ball one on Wilds. Watch Wild play for a long time, calling many games at Lions Rec Department during the All-Star season. The 1-0. He chops onto the ground to the third baseman. He fields it, has it, and here's the throw to first, and that'll be out number one. So that'll bring up Carson Brady. Brady right now has walks for the team. On deck is number 11, Lucas O'Connor. Brady steps in, batting from the right-hand side. Here's the pitch to him. He's going to take that one for ball one in the dirt. You know, some people might be concerned that I am related to a player on the team, the 1-0. Almost as closely related as you can be, siblings. 2 balls, no strikes on Brady. But I will say I always refrain from any type of favoritism. I call it as if he was anybody else out here. But the bad thing is sometimes if I have to interview him, the 2-0, missing, or actually called for strike one, if I have to interview him, he's always very reluctant. And it's because it's me. If it were, Barney back in the day, he would give an interview. Because it's me, I have to plead a case to get an interview. Next pitch missing high to make it 3 balls and 1 strike on Brady. Speaking, the junior varsity will be in action Wednesday versus Swainsboro here at this beautiful new field. The 3-1 to Brady's on the way, and that's missing in the dirt. And that'll be ball 4. So with a runner at first and 1 down, that'll bring up Lucas O'Connor. And on deck, unless they're making another substitution, should be Chase Musselman, but they could be putting somebody else in. Mallard coming set. Brady with his lead at first. Here's the pitch to the plate to O'Connor. That'll be missing for ball one. Bulldogs on top 11-0 here in the bottom of the third. They only need 4 more for the run rule to come into effect. We've almost been playing an hour. We've been playing over an hour. We started at 5:43. O'Connor taking this one off the numbers on his back. That'll put runners at first and second. With one down, we have batted around. We're back to Chase Musselman. Musselman wearing number 4 tonight and pitching for the Bulldogs, and he has been doing fantastically on the mound tonight. That is not Mallard. Thompson. Have I been saying Mallard? Thompson comes onto the mound. Excuse me. Here's the pitch to the plate to Musselman. That's missing for ball one. The Bulldogs have scored 6 runs so far here in the bottom of the third inning. Chase Musselman steps back in. An open stance, as he usually does. Shortstop working Brady at second as he inches back towards the bag. Here's the pitch. Musselman gets under it. Brady, O'Connor freezing. And is the catcher going to be able to make this catch? He doesn't, and it falls foul. So Musselman gets to try again. 1 ball, 1 strike on the right-handed hitter. Tonight, he's 1 for 2 with a strikeout and a base hit. That was a bunt. But because everything about it was clean, the pitcher's catch of it was clean, the throw to first, Musselman just absolutely ran it out. He was going 90 miles per hour down that baseline. The 1-1 from Thompson is on the way. Musselman hits it with the tip of his bat and fouls it off. That'll make it 1-2. Still 1 down. The Bulldogs' new scoreboard out in right field is a very nice scoreboard. Next pitch, and that's going to hit Musselman, and that's going to load up the bases. To bring up Foster Jones. But anyway, the scoreboard, it tells you the batter's number, it tells you the ball, strikes, and outs, of course. But it also has the feature where it tells you how many runs were scored in inning. And how many runs total. And the light is blinding me. I don't know what the other 2 columns are. What do those say? The 2 columns, Portal, Tombs, the very last 2 columns on that row. Yeah, I know the score, and then, okay. There you go. First pitch to Jones, believe was in for strike 1. We'll see in a second. I was too busy looking at the scoreboard. I know this next one is. Maybe it's 1 ball, 1 strike. I'm going to go with that. Thompson now working from the windup with the bases loaded. Here's the pitch. Jones takes that one inside. Going to make it 2 balls, 1 strike. Bulldogs have another situation where they could bust an inning wide open. The 2-1. Getting away from the catcher. No go from Brady. He wanted to and then didn't. So 3 balls, 1 strike on Foster Jones. No reason to put anything in jeopardy right here. You're sitting nice with the bases loaded. You only have 1 out. Foster Jones, he's a guy at the plate that can put the ball in play. No worries. The 3-1. Missing high, and Foster Jones walks, and it walks in a run for the Bulldogs. That'll bring up Cody Cortez, who is 1 for 1 tonight with a hit by a pitch. Is that Cody Cortez? Yeah, it is. That's Cody. I'm very much second guessing myself with a team who I know all of their faces. I could tell you their names. Oh, maybe there are a few here that I may not be able to tell you who they are. Let's see. Cody. I know Bryson, Chandler, Chase, Galen, DJ. I know DJ Austin. Caleb McCoy. May not know that guy. Alex Gordy. I know him. Jesus Quintero. Know him. Dawson Brantley. I know him. Lucas Brantley Upshaw, Trayvon Harris, Gavin Hall, Jason Dukes, Foster Carson, Caden, Will, Cameron, Gray, and Logan. Yeah, I know all of those. And they have put in another pitcher, the Portal Panthers have, with the Bulldogs on top 12-0. Before I send you to the break, I'm going to tell you who the pitcher is. The Bulldogs have scored 7 runs here in the bottom of the third inning. So before we go to the break, if he'll just did you see a number of who this? I can't. He's not turning around. So I'm going to give him a chance to warm up. Maybe I'll see it during the break. Bulldogs have 12. Panthers have nothing as we break on Y101.
This is TCB Broadcasting, WLYU FM, Lions Vidalia, Y101.
For over 75 combined years, the campuses of Southeastern Technical College have been providing education for the real world. STC Swainsboro and Vidalia locations give students from Glenville to Wrightsville access to local, high-quality training that won't break the bank. From accounting to welding, Southeastern Tech's programs give you the tools to succeed now, whether you've just graduated high school or you're looking to kickstart your career. For more information on enrollment, visit southeasterntech.edu.
Check out these great deals going on through February 28th at Toombs Auto Parts, your local Napa Auto Parts store in Lyons. Get the Napa Oil Special 5-quart jug, only $11.49. Napa 15W40 AC Motor Oil, $9.69 a gallon. Power Service Diesel Fuel Additive, $6.99 each. Max Premium Starting Fluid or Max Windshield De-Icer, your choice, only $2.49. They also stock DFF, only $9.99 a gallon, and they have hydraulic hoses. At Toombs Auto Parts, your local Napa store in Lyons. Now, back to the field for more Toombs County High School baseball on Y101.
And welcome back to the action here. Bulldogs on top 12-0. Cortez has 2 balls and no strikes on him. In the bottom of the third, the 2-0. Missing, and now Cortez way ahead here with 3 balls and no strikes. That number 14, maybe? Yeah. Those stripes on their jersey is making it hard for me to make out the numbers. We'll see. We'll see who it is. 3 balls, no strikes on Cortez with the bases loaded. A walk would bring in another run. And Cortez takes the 3-0 in for strike 1. 19, 13? Actually, it may be 13. And Cortez walks. And that'll drive in another run for the Bulldogs. 13-0. And 1 down. We're back to the top of the order, but instead of Chandler Lynn batting, it'll be number 14, Gavin Hall. Number 13 is Austin Smith, who was originally playing second base. So it could be him up to bat. Or not up to bat, up to pitch. Definitely can't be him up to bat. That's Gavin Hall up to bat. With the bases loaded, and sophomore Gavin Hall up to bat, he sends this ball foul, unfortunately. Third base line. For strike 1. There's still 1 down here in the bottom of the third. The Bulldogs are 2 runs away from taking the game by the run rule. Which would be the second game this season so far if they do it successfully. The 0-1. High for ball 1. Will Watts is going to stay in and bat for himself. He is on deck. The pitcher coming set. The 1-1 is on the way. And that'll be high for make it 2-1. On Gavin Hall. Gavin steps back in. Count's pretty even right now. 2 balls, 1 strike. No one is more ahead or behind than the other. Pitcher-batter duo here. He takes the next pitch for strike 2. And now the pitcher is ahead. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2. just missing inside. That'll load up the count on Hall. Now a walk here would drive in another run. Would put the Bulldogs one run away from the run rule. Hall fouling this one off, out of play. Over the press box. The pitcher working from the stretch, full count pitch, hits way in front of home plate, and that'll drive in or bring in, walk in, another Bulldog run. So with one down and Will Watts up to bat, a walk would end the game, a base hit would end the game, hit by a pitch would end the game because it is 15 after 3. The pitcher delivering to Watts. That one was quite high for ball 1. Watts stepping back in. Here's the pitch. Watts going to swing at this one, but missing for strike 1. The 1-1 is on the way. Watts getting a piece of it, fouling it off to make it 1 ball and 2 strikes. You know, I'm thinking about people who to interview after this game. For certainly have to interview pitcher Chase Musselman and Gray Stevens. He's had an excellent night at the plate. The 1-2. Missing for ball 2. Counts now even at 2. Still 1 down. The 2-2 is now on the way. And it's missing high, and that'll load up the count on Will Watts. A walk will end the game. But let's see how it's done. Bulldogs only need 1 more run. The full count pitch. Watts gets under it, fouls it off, out of play. To keep himself alive in this at-bat. Watts stepping back in, batting from the right-hand side. Base is still loaded. 1 down, full count. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss by Will Watts, and that will be strike 3, 2 down. So Gray Stevens, the man who has had an excellent night at the plate all day long, let's see if he could end the game with 1 swing of the bat. Now, you don't want anything in the air, you know. More than likely, you want something hard and on the ground. Let's see how he does it. First pitch, missing off the plate for ball 1, which a walk would satisfy the need for it also. Or hit by a pitch. The 1-0. Stevens swinging at that one. That'll make it 1-1. The Bulldogs don't get the extra run here that they need. We will play the 4th inning. The 1-1. Stevens swinging and missing to make it strike 2. Now, I'm not hoping that we get the next run, but I am saying it would make my life a little easier. I do have to have a 45-minute drive back home. 1-2. And Stevens sends it. Man, that ball just kept going up in the air. Let's see if the catch can be made. And it will not. And the winning run touches home plate. And that should be the ball game. And it is. Bulldogs taking a non-region game 15-0 in 3 innings. We'll take a break and come back and wrap up tonight's event on Y101.
Most things in life aren't free, but thanks to Georgia's dual enrollment program, qualified school students can take college classes and get high school and college credit absolutely free. Southeastern Technical College offers an array of dual enrollment classes and programs to help find work right out of high school or build the foundation for a college career. For more information on free college credit for high school students, visit southeasterntech.edu.
Check out these great deals going on through February 28th at the all-new Brogdon Auto Parts, your local Napa store in Swainsboro. Get the Napa Oil Special 5-quart jug, only $11.49. Napa 15W40 HD Motor Oil, $19.69 a gallon. Power Service Additive, $6.99 each. Max Premium Starter Fluid or Max Windshield De-Icer, your choice, $2.49 each. And they have hydraulic hoses at Brogdon Auto Parts, located at 204 South Coleman Street in Swainsboro.
Bring that big rig diesel to Stevens Truck Center in Lyons for the service that saves you money up front and saves you even more mile after mile. Using B-line alignment equipment, plus the parts that meet and exceed manufacturer specifications. Keep that diesel running and running at its money-saving best. Call on Stevens Truck Center, number 1 south of Lyons, for unequal service and the best prices on new or used trucks. It's Stevens Truck Center.
K&K Septic Tank Service, Highway 130 East in Vidalia, will take care of all your septic tank troubles. Ronald Kite is licensed and has over 25 years of professional experience. When the job needs to be right, call the best. That's K&K Septic Tank. Get ready for his numbers, 537-2319 or 293-2319. And again, that's K&K Septic Tank Service in Vidalia.
And welcome back to the Toombs County brand new athletic facility. The Bulldogs taking this game in 3 innings tonight, winning 15-0 over the Portal Panthers in a non-region matchup here in Lyons. Chase Musselman pitched the entire 3 innings of the game. He allowed 1 hit and had 5 strikeouts. As far as hitting goes, Gray Stevens was the man with the plan. He went 2 for 3 tonight with an RBI double and an RBI triple. He also was hit by a pitch and reached on an error. Jason Dukes went 1 for 2 with a double, which scored a run and a walk, also reaching on an error. Chase Musselman went 1 for 2 with a hit by a pitch, and Cody Cortez went 1 for 1 with a hit by a pitch and a walk. The Bulldogs scored 2 in the bottom of the first, 3 in the bottom of the second, and 10 in the bottom of the third. Now, the Bulldogs will be back in action on Thursday on the road in Appling County with a game time of 6 o'clock. Game time, 6 o'clock. And then they will also be playing a game on Friday. That game will be on the road in Tattnall County. It'll be a junior varsity doubleheader with the junior varsity beginning at 4 and the varsity first pitch beginning at 6. So both games this week, game times at 6. One's on the road in Appling on Thursday, and one is at Tattnall on Friday. I want to thank Robin back at the station. The junior varsity baseball team, don't let me forget this, will be in action on Wednesday here in Lyons versus Swainsboro at 5. Want to give thanks to Robin back at the station. A thanks for you listening. You've been listening to Toombs County Baseball. Final score, Toombs County 15, Portal nothing on Y101.
You've been listening to the Toombs County High School Bulldog Baseball right here on Y101. Today's game was brought to you by Shoney's in Vidalia, Rivers Heating and Air in Vidalia, Patriot Gas in Vidalia, All Care Pharmacy in Lyons, Southeastern Technical College in Vidalia, Toombs Auto Parts in Lyons, Stevens Truck Center in Lyons, K&K Septic in Vidalia, Fruitway, your Galaxy Food Store in Lyons, Community Hospice in Vidalia, Zaxby's in Vidalia, Doodlebug in Vidalia, First Franklin Financial in Vidalia, Carland and Timber in Lyons, McClendon Enterprises in Vidalia, and People's Bank in Vidalia and Lyons. You've been listening to the Toombs County Bulldogs Baseball right here on Y101 with the voice of the Bulldogs, Bryce Brady. Tune in next time for more high school baseball on Y1.
Don't know if I can.